Grand Rising Soul Fam. Today I am coming on celebrating 40 days of Venus retrograde. Today we are in day 15 that I'm sharing, and I'm sharing some gene key and quantum human design and Tao resources for contemplation. Dropping in to a moment of pause with me. So I welcome you here. Invitation to allow your belly to soften, your breath to get a little bit deeper, and let's just drop in with a little story together. Today, sharing from the Wisdom Keepers deck by Dr. Rosie Aronson. This is Gene Key 16, and we're looking at the shadow of indifference, the gift of versatility, and the city or the divine expression of mastery. It starts off with a Richard Rudd quote that says, "The gift of being versatile is the ability to pick up any skill that's needed and use it for a single aim, for the betterment of humanity and the service of the whole." My wisdom story. I was hit by lightning as a boy. Our village shaman recognized this as a sign and took me under his wing. When the other children played, I learned about the healing property of plants, how to shake a rattle and beat a drum. Still, whenever possible, my heart drifted towards the sound of laughing children and the stories told by the village grandmothers. At night, I dreamed of cooking up food around crackling fires and telling stories that made young eyes go wide. But when I awoke, I remembered who I was and who I could never be. So, I approached my shamanic training with obsessive discipline. I deluded myself into thinking I was on the right path and that I wanted nothing else. There came a point where I had been initiated into all but the highest level of our ancient traditions. It was time to receive the final initiation and accept my lifelong calling, but on the day of my ceremony, I panicked. I didn't feel ready or good enough, and I ran into the woods. That night, surrounded by trees, I dreamt of the world falling apart and myself powerless to save it. I returned to the village broken. I started neglecting my sacred duties and losing focus. I even started gullibly believing some of the messages leaking into our village from the surrounding cities, claiming that our small ancient ceremonies could never solve the problems of our wounded world. My teachers saw the growing pessimism and indifference in my eyes. Finally, shaking, I confessed my soul's ache to serve the village, but in a different way. I couldn't accept my calling. To my surprise, he smiled and said, "You are indeed a shaman, just a different kind. Listen to your dreams and follow your heart. Take your new craft so deeply into your bones that you can use it. You can use what you learn anywhere, with anyone, and for any purpose." And so I did. Now, whenever I appear, whatever I do, bellies hum, hearts lift, and children laugh. I trust in my unique medicine, and I'm happy. My gift to you. When I look into your eyes, I see a great potential for talent and versatility. I'm here to remind you that although talent requires persistent effort, everything gets easier when you take a stand for your true passion. Trust in your enthusiasm. Risk being different. Learn to let people down. I promise you, finding time to do what you love will get easier. Finding your people will get easier. Asking for help will get easier. Sharing your fears will even get easier. Even hard work will get easier because everything you do will be fueled with love. Eventually, your knowledge and skills will become such a deep part of you that you'll be playing and improvising with life itself. Service and sustainability will just naturally happen. You are more ready than you know. Questions for contemplation. You may want to save this and come back to it another time, or just give yourself a moment to reflect upon the answers. Where have you given up on yourself and the world? What passions are you sitting on? Where are you telling yourself that you are not ready? What are you waiting for? What simple act could you take to turn a pipe dream into a reality in the works? Have you convinced yourself that there's just no use in relation to a particular passion of yours? What and who do you care enough about to find a way to serve anyway? And lastly, where do you have a natural talent? Think of one thing you can do to cultivate greater mastery in that area. They always say, if you want to make money, solve a problem. Look for the need and find a solution. It doesn't actually take a master to master the art of finding solutions to problems. Some people like to find problems for every solution, and some people find solutions for every problem. So invitation in your contemplation is to remind yourself how resourceful you are, how many tools you have in so many different places. One of them being the tool of prayer. When you can dip into the frequency of prayer, and you can connect with all the benevolent guides that are literally just waiting around to help and assist you. It would be like a basketball team and all the guys on the bench. They're just waiting to get up. They can't run onto the court. As much as they would love to, you have to have a certain number of people on the team. There has to be a correspondence. The rules have to be followed. So if you want to invite in more support, more teammates, you gotta call them in. You gotta tag them in. And that's what prayer is. Sending you so much love. Namaste.